from Cat Stitch here in New Zealand, in Wellington. It is a lovely sunny winter's day, still a bit cool, but you know, it's been lovely, especially since the last couple of days have been absolutely shite, quite frankly. So hopefully a lot of those puddles have dried up by now that are outside the house. So for those that are coming for the first time, thanks very much for stopping on by. Lovely to see you here. And if you like what you see, please make sure you like, subscribe, you know, do all of those things. And for those that are coming back again, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me again. This throat thing is just not going away. It's starting to become very annoying. So, but yeah. So this channel is about cross stitch. I don't really do any other crafts at this time. Who knows what I'm going to get up to. So today we have got some new starts, whips, and a few finishes. I got a tiny bit of haul. Oh yeah, and we've got to draw the prize. So as you remember, the prizes this week are both Puntini Puntini. Beautiful designs. One is craft supplies and the other one is a spring house. It's going to be interesting if I can talk through this whole thing, but it's going to be quick, so hopefully we're going to do good. Okay, so let's get on to the whips. Now, last time I would have shown you my Wizard of Oz tree by Tiny Modernist, which is this one here, which I'm stitching with Judy from an Aussie in a Kiwi world. And I had a small start. I got the balloon nearly finished and I got the missing threads, so I did a bit more work on it, and it's getting stitched on the onion skin, no, the tea dye skin, the tea dye that I did with a touch of red green, and it is the 14 count. So here we are now. Oh, that's where I was. It's still in the Q-snap because I was going to be working on it this weekend. And here we are now. So last time I just had the little balloon. So the last couple of weeks I've managed to get that lot done. I didn't actually think I'd done a lot of stitching this fortnight because yeah, I just haven't been focused on stitching. But there we go. So very cool. Trying to put it where Monkey won't jump on it. Another new start is one that I got, and I'm doing it as a gift for a very good friend who is really helping me out, as a surprise. So he doesn't know he's getting it, but it's this design here by it's called Wellington, and I think it's awesome. I should have written it down, but I'll put the information down below. The reason I went and looked for this one is because Laura from Stitching by the Shore, she just finished Philadelphia, I believe, and it made me go and look on Etsy, and they had Wellington, because I was actually looking for Toronto. Originally I was going to do Toronto for my dad's corner, but then I saw Wellington and I sort of thought, oh, I'll get that. And I opted, instead of for the circular one, I wanted the square, and it is full coverage, but I may not make it completely full coverage. So this is where I've gotten to. So that's made it about 2 rows off the bottoms. There's another couple of rows to go down here, but it's right across to the other side, so it's from the top. So there's this whole part in here that's like that's 3685, and yes, Monkey. And so I'm thinking I might actually leave that plain because of the fabric I'm using, which, yeah, sorry, the sun's just not helping today. Because of the fabric I'm using, I'm thinking of leaving it, but I'm going to leave that to last, and then decide whether I'm going to do those last, I don't know, 400 stitches or something like that. Probably about 600 stitches. So that's another one I'm working on this weekend. So that was a new start and a whip, and then I haven't got these in order. Another whip that I pulled out and I just need to add the beads on to was the Mill Hill Gnome, Bee Gnome, which if I've got a photo I'll put up here where I was. I'm sure I have a photo, and here is where I am now. I really should, my board's gone walking, so we'll have to do it this way. So that's where I am now. He's so cute. So I just need to add all the beads to him and then he'll be done. But I'm trying to decide if I'm going to add the beads to him now, or, because I've also got the skep as well, the beehive. So I'm sort of thinking maybe I should stitch that one as well and then do the beads for both. But I'll think about that. So that's nearly finished. And then I pulled out Coffee Time by Happy Mood Point. This is what the design is going to look like when it's finished. And this is where I was. So I'd gotten halfway. I'd gotten to the 50%. And then this is where I am now. So I've made it down to the bottom. And I'm stitching it with sulky threads. I've just picked out a bunch of coordinating sulky threads in each motif I pick out. Now inside the heart is supposed to be an alphabet. Now we know how I feel about doing alphabets if I can change them to something else. So I'm actually going to chart up a little phrase, which I'm not going to say what it is because I haven't decided on. There's two phrases and I'm just going to chart up and see which one would fit best. So yeah, and then a restart. Now I had originally started Bee Tier by Erin Elizabeth on a paler piece of fabric, and when I showed it to you guys, I think I've still got a photo of it, I'll have to have a look, but you couldn't see the white at all. And I was going to be okay with it. I mean, I could see it in person, but you couldn't on the camera. But then I was thinking about it and thinking, you know what? No, I'm going to restart it. So that So I ended up using one of the new Picture This Plus pieces that I got, and I've used Haunted by Picture This Plus, and I didn't just restart it. I completed it because it is such a fun stitch. So here it is here. So it's stitched on 18 count Haunted by Picture This Plus. The design is Bee Tier by Erin Elizabeth. So I've got the Canadian one to do next. So that's cool. And then when I was going, because I was contemplating doing a whip parade this week, but I decided not to. And I was going through all the whips and things like that. And I pulled out the bag and it had my Whispered by the Wind, Moonrise and Moonset and Gate, can't remember what the gate is, in it. And I had forgotten that I hadn't finished the second of the Moonrise ones that I'd started back in March. So I grabbed it and I finished it. So before I picked it up, I just had the grey of the house done. And this bottom part done, I think in the tree stick, not the branches. So I finished all that off, and I've used Etoile for the dark grey and Etoile for the black. Otherwise they're called for colours, and again I did a little bit of back stitch with the darker of the two colours for the moon around the outside so that it would sort of stand out a little bit more from the fabric. And this is stitched on 18 count vintage grey marble. I've heard it called a few different things, but it you know, for me it's called vintage grey marble. So it's that one. And then I really enjoyed doing it, so I quickly yesterday did another one. So this is a Seth. So it's 3 of them. So now I've got 3 of them done, 3 of the 4. So I just have 1 more of Moonrise to do, which is the I actually have the thing here, this one here. So I've just got the I've just got the gravestone to do, that one there. Yeah. So that is cool. So that might get done this weekend as well. Trying to get it back in the bag, sorry. Don't want to lose it. In the mermaid bag from Judith. Okay, so on to just a second. On to the little bit of haul that I got, and it was all from Debbie at Angel Crafts in New Zealand. So I originally, it's actually 2 orders. Yeah. There. So I got some classic Colourworks and Weeks for one of my charts. It's just, yeah. I got a piece of navy 16 count, 50 by 55 centimeters, so that's like a fat quarter, I think. I got a ½ meter of the 18 count white so that I can dye it, so I can have some fun, because I have got those avocado pips to seeds, whatever they're called, to play with. So I wanted to get a little bit of fabric. If not, I've got some onion as well, so I haven't got the red onion yet, but never mind. And then I got ½ meter of the vintage grey marble, because I love this fabric. Now, when I was talking to Debbie, she said that the vintage range is getting discontinued, and so she just ordered the last bit of vintage coffee mocha from her supplier. And I said, what other ones have you got left of vintage? Because I love these fabrics. I love, you know. And she said she had 1 meter left of the vintage sand, which I'd gotten previously, and a ½ meter left of the vintage marble. So I now have 1 meter of the vintage sand and another ½ meter, so I've got another meter in total of that. So I got her last pieces of that, and I couldn't have the fabric travel alone, and I did need a couple of etoiles which she had on sale. So I got those for some projects that I'll be doing next month. Plans for next month. So on the 1st, I'm starting a stitch with Mary from Magnolia Stitcher. It is the My Big Toe one that I recently got. And I don't have a picture of it here, which is typical. This one here. So we're going to be starting that on the 1st of August. I'm still dithering over the fabric because I was going to use one of the Picture This Plus ones, and now it may depend on if I dye some fabric, and it might be a piece of that. I don't know, but I have sort of fine-tuned which threads I'm going to use, so it's not going to be all black. Also the summer camp, no, the stitch camp, you know, Colorado cross stitch stitching camp or whatever it is. Next month it's supposed to be something you haven't tried before. Now it could be a design you haven't tried before or stuff like that, and it will be a designer I haven't stitched before, and it's the only reason I haven't started it yet is because I decided I want to save it for August to do, and that's the Rebel Stitcher happily ever after. So I've got it kitted up ready to go, and I went to start it and I thought, well, actually I've never stitched a Rebel Colleen's one before, so she's going to be my pick for next month. Also next month, on the Halloween Facebook page, it's the start of our Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue challenge for 2 months. So we've got August and September to stitch up designs from any of the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issues. So it has to be one of the Halloween ones, not the October one, or stuff like that. It has to be one of the Halloween issues, and it can be any from back in 2009 up to now, including the latest one. And I've printed up about 15 from the newest one, and the light is changing, which is great. And I have also printed up one that I have already stitched before, but my daughter's got it and I want it, so I'm going to restitch that one for me. So yeah, so there's that, but that's August, September. I keep thinking there was something else I was supposed to start next month. I still haven't started Old Witch Mary. I was about to start it, and then I decided I didn't want to use that fabric. So again, it's going to be one that I dye, I think. I don't know yet. It's still up in the air. Yeah, sorry, the clouds are coming over the sun a little bit, so the light keeps changing. Apologies. But yeah, considering it was, Christmas in July, I didn't actually do any Christmas stitching. I was supposed to stitch on at least all hearts come home at Christmas, to at least get the hearts put into the dang thing, and I haven't touched it. But I might grab it and just put a couple of the hearts in where they're supposed to go, so that the H looks right and doesn't confuse people anymore. So yeah, so I think, is that all my plans? I mean, they're my non-plans, because I sort of just go with what I want to stitch, and it has been a bit of a struggle over the last couple of weeks. To focus on anything, and then I've become pretty monogamous. Once I find one I like, I don't want to put it down, and I don't want to do any other ones. So I just, I might do a couple of stitches on something else, but I'll go back to this one, which is what's happened with Wellington. I want to keep working on it. It is, it's 14,500 stitches on the dang thing. I'd like to get a good input into it, because that's got to be done before Christmas. So yeah, okay, so on to the drawer. Sorry about the noise, people. Okay, so Warm Spring by Puntini Puntini. I used, because I don't get many comments, which is very sad, because I love talking to people sometimes. So good odds for everybody that entered. So for spring, I used a wheel, and I put each person's name in that had used the keyword, and the winner is Zeb and NZ. Zeb, you've won this one. So I've got your address, so I'll send this on to you next week, hopefully. Alrighty, so congratulations, Zeb. And for the craft one, which is this one here, this is another one that I'm starting next month. I was thinking there's another one I'm starting next month. So if you want to join me in starting this one next month, and if you're not lucky winner today, then that's fine. We can, check out Puntini Puntini, her Etsy page, and she has got some really, really cute pins that she's just made, these autumn ones. I was like, oh my god, I'm so gonna need to save up for Christmas, because I'll be getting a lot of Puntini Puntini. Etsy's going to be my shopping spot, I think, for my Christmas present this year. And yeah, so this one, you needed to use the keyword craft, and you have to be okay with me passing your email address on to Paola. Okay, so again, I put each person's name in, and there was only 7, so it was pretty simple. Each person's name into the wheel, and the winner is the Cotterill family. Nick! Nick, you're getting this one. So I might make you start it with me. Just saying. Just a hint. So congratulations to both of you. Nick, I'll be in touch. I'll get the reading as well. And yeah, thank you guys, everyone, for leaving a comment. It was actually nice to have a few comments to read and to reply to and things like that. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, so it's gonna, like I said, it's going to be really short today. I don't have a lot, but you can guarantee next one will be longer because it'll be a whip parade. Although I don't know, I don't have that many whips. I think I've only got about 25 to 30 now. And who knows, by next week there might be a few less. But not next week, the week after. And I don't have any FFOs this week either. I did contemplate a few times doing some FFOs, but I just didn't. So yeah, I haven't done a lot in the way of craft. Just a little personal update if you're still around. If you want to go and you don't want to hear the personal update, that's perfectly fine. Thank you very much for stopping on by. Again, if you like what you saw, please make sure you like, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. So the little personal update will be pretty quick. The meds that I've been put on haven't really been having the right sort of impact. So I saw the doctors yesterday, and he's doubling the dose of those and also giving me some sleeping pills because I'm just not sleeping, and that's not helping the situation. He's also advised me to ask if at work I can take an extended leave without pay, but I need to sort of check to see if that's doable. If I can afford to do that, so that I can you know, get a little of me back again. So yeah, so there we go. So that's all good. And yeah, Bobby's doing good. He had a friend over this morning to play with him. My housemate was selling a bunch of his stuff, and the people were around organising it all and all that sort of stuff, and they had a little dog, and so Bobby had a buddy to play with, which he, you know, loved. Monkey wasn't as impressed, so Monkey stayed under the bed. Hey Monkey, would you like to come up and say hi? Yeah. If you wanna be... Here we go. Hi. So yeah, so Monkey's been giving me weather reports in the early hours of the morning because it was raining, and so he'd come in and have to get wrapped up in a towel. So I've learnt to keep a towel next to the bed when it's raining, because you can guarantee he'll go out in it and come in sopping wet and then expect me to try and dry him off just with my hands, and that doesn't happen. So yeah, so I think that is everything. Who have I watched this week? Stitching by the Shore, Laura. Brenda and Laura from Brenda and the Serial Starter. Hugo Stitcher. Mad Morty and Brom. They're such a giggle. Honestly, I love watching them. They always make me giggle. In Aussie in a Kiwi World. Did I catch up with you this week yet? No. North Island Stitcher. Did catch up with her. And Crafting Lee. Crafty. I see my brain is a bit off still. Who else? The 14 count Ada girl. Of course, Sarah Stitchy Spot. I never miss that. Same with the Saltbox Stitcher. Same with Stitch Roadies. I love Anna. Honestly, she's just a joy. She's just so joyful and so curious and excited about all aspects of things that she finds out and learns and discovers, and she loves sharing that, and it's quite catching, you know. Who else? Oh, Dizzy Stitcher, Aussie. Wombat Hollow, I believe. I'll put the info down below. And, you know, plenty of others. Lancashire Stitcher, Mama Loves You GB. I'm not sure what is it. You know, Chrissy and Linda. I know they've got a new title for their group, but I'll put that down below. I did watch their second joint one yesterday. And I know I'm missing some. Oh, Magnolia Stitcher, Mary. Sorry, darling. Yes, I watched her, and her kitten is just so gorgeous. So, Lily Rose, honestly, the stitching's great anyway, but it's worth it going to also see this gorgeous little kitten that she's got, which is great. The Steadfast Stitcher, I actually went to just a short time for the Zoom for the 24 hours of stitching last weekend. It was like from 2 to 4 in the morning for me when I went in, maybe 2 to 5, and it was lovely. You know, it was really nice. It was you know, so if you get a chance to do that, please go on in. They're very nice. They're very lovely, and I got to see Laura and I got to see Beth, so it was really cool to put the, you know, the face to the name. I mean, I know that I do anyway, but it was nice to sort of sit there and just chat, and that sort of thing, which was lovely. And I had to remind myself to talk slowly because Kiwis are known for speaking fast, so, which, you know, usually confuses people. But yeah, no, so that was fun. That was something a bit different for me to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else. I did do some cooking last weekend. I made up a bunch of meals for the fortnight. I made a sweet and sour chicken, pork, beef teriyaki and vegetable, and deviled sausages. So I've got them all portioned up and in the freezer, although I have got this a portion of sweet and sour chicken out for tea tonight. So yum. It's just to try and encourage me to eat, because last week I pretty much lived on Honey Puffs cereal and a few sandwiches. Very simple. Yeah. So we'll see how things go. So yeah, so now I'm gonna take those few back in with me and carry on doing some stitching. Yeah, it doesn't hold, nothing's holding my attention for very long, even when it's one that I'm loving doing, like the Wellington one. I stitch for a few threads and then I put it down and maybe play a few games on my phone for an hour, and then I pick it up and do it again, you know, and stitch again. But yeah, so I'm going to go back in and edit this and get this up, and hopefully have all the info down below. And yeah, that's it. So, you know, I know that over in the States, yeah, we were talking in the Zoom about how hot it is, and it just boggles my mind. And when I sort of say, oh, you know, we're down to about 5, and then working out what's that in Fahrenheit, and stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, it's pretty cold over there. I'm thinking, well, no, we don't have snow, you know, which is very disappointing. But hearing some of those temperatures, I'm just, oh yeah, you know, for me, a nice temperature, something that I can live with, is between, say, 18 and 22. That sort of bracket. Over that, you know, over 22, then I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm not a happy girl. That's why summer's not one of my favourite seasons, but just hearing some of the temperatures that are happening over there, I'm just like, yeah, I'd be moving. Alaska sounds good. Does Alaska get hot? Do they get hot in their summer? I mean, they're, you know, really south. Anyway, so for those of you that are in those really hot temperatures, please make sure that you hydrate, that you know, keep your fluids up. If you're not a fan of water, then add a few drops of lemon juice into it, or fill up a jug of water and put some lemon skins into it and pop it in the fridge. But keep your fluids up. Drinking things like, you know, tea and coffee, while they might be nice, they can actually dehydrate you more. So you need, you know, proper fluids. Okay, keep your fluids up. If you can, keep out of that heat. You know, don't make multiple trips. Try and get it all done in one shot. And you know, and if you do have to go outside, make sure you cover up, slip, slop, slap. You know, do all those things to help keep you safe in your summer. Okay, and for those of us that are in a little bit of chilly weather, make sure you wrap up. Lots of lemon, honey and ginger, garlic and onion and turmeric in your stews and casseroles or whatever, just to help your immunity and things like that, to fight a lot of these bugs that are going around at the moment. And also to my friends over in Canada and that are near the borders of Canada that are dealing with the fires. I know I haven't mentioned this before. I have known about it. I've just not responded. But for those, I hope you guys are all safe, and I hope that, you know, things clear up. I know that it's sort of at the start of that season, which is really bad. So just keep safe, okay? And so from me, Monkey, and the silent Bobby, who hasn't made an appearance this week, that's it. So don't forget, march to the beat of your own drum. It's where the magic happens. You take care, and remember to subscribe, like, and do all those things. And I'll see you again in about 2 weeks. Toodles.